Hello everybody, in today's video we're taking a look at another wooden burr puzzle, and this is the biggest one that I have currently. This is called 18 in block, and this was designed by Alphonse Aikmans, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and it was actually built by Maurice Vigoureux. I hope I'm pronouncing that right as well. This is available at artaludes.com. It's a French website. I actually just had to email them because I can't speak French, and I'm using the translator to try to read the description of some of these. But anyways, this is a lot nicer than some of my previous ones. So like in this one here, this one is built very well and it works very well. This is the 4 in a vise. But the wood seems to be a lot nicer on this one. Like it seems to be smoother and the type of wood seems to be better. So I'm not exactly sure what woods there are here. I know that there's 2 types. Some of the woods that might be on here is sycamore, padauk, if that's how you pronounce padauk, Wikipu, and Defau. I think that's how you pronounce that. Anyways, I think a lot of them are French names. I just don't know how to pronounce it properly. But anyways, this is a level 12 burr, meaning it takes 12 moves to get the first piece out. And this is an 18 piece. So you can see that we've got 6 here, we've got 6 here, and 6 here. And they're colored differently, so when you're putting it back, things are just wanting to move, eh? But they're colored differently, so when you're putting it back together, it's a little easier for you. And it's only got one really solution, because a lot of these puzzles have more than one solution. Oh, moving. But only one solution with the same color. So if this had more solutions, you might be able to put this piece here and this piece here and kind of switch up the colors. That might make it a little bit easier, I'm not sure. Anyways, so things are moving. I'm just gonna go around and move some things. I see that one's moving and this one's moving. Anything else? Oh, okay, so it moves in there. All right, so that's 2 moves, 3. So let's just go around and move some more, 4. And I really find these interesting because I don't know, they just seem to move around a lot. Oh, 5. Look at that, this one moved all of these pieces. So when I move this one moves with it. Cool. I really like that. So we're getting somewhere. I'm not going to go ahead and solve it. I'm just kind of showing you the very beginning stage of it. But something like this might take a little while to... Oh, that moves. This one moves now. Okay. Oh, this one moves. So you can see that we're getting somewhere. We're not getting too far. I don't know how many moves that is. But, oh, there's another move. Now that one can come back and maybe something else can move. That one can come out. Anyways, so obviously you can see there's a lot of movements here. And so I'm going to go ahead and spend some time with this, and then I will come back when I've got the first piece out and show you what it looks like then. Okay, so I said I'd come back when I got the first piece out, and it was actually only a couple more moves because it's a level 12 and I did so many already. So anyways, this is the first piece that comes out. And after this, it doesn't mean that it's completely apart or it's going to come apart. There's still lots of moves I have to do to take this thing apart. It's not just a quick thing like that. So, but I can see that a lot more pieces are wanting to move now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to disassemble the entire thing, if I can. And then I will show you the pieces. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave out one of each color, because I don't know if the person who made this wants me to expose every piece, because then people can just make it instead of having to buy it. So I will leave out one piece of every color, and then obviously somebody can't copy that. So I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'll be back when that happens. Alright guys, so as you can see, it's not disassembled, but I figured that I would show you periodically along the way how I'm doing with this, so you can kind of get a sense of the struggle that I'm having. But when it comes close to the time where it's going to come apart, I'll just show you all the pieces minus one of each color. Anyway, so I've gotten to this point now where I can take out the second piece. Now I'm trying to get the third piece, and I've spent a couple of hours trying to get it, and I just can't seem to find it to save my life. Now there's a lot of movement going on, and the one thing I wanted to show you guys is that the more pieces you take out, the more pieces can move, because you've just taken away, you know, the restriction of other pieces. So a lot of pieces are moving now, and so I'll show you an example of some of the movements we have. Is you know, I can't move this one until I move that one so it can go underneath it, as you can see. What's another one? This one here can move, and then this one can drop down. And this one here is really free. This one here is really free. So I'm going to put this back the way it was. I don't know if that's how it goes to get the next piece out. I don't know. And because I'm still brand new to these things, I don't know exactly what piece will come out next. But a new friend of mine on Facebook told me, you know, take the time to really analyze the pieces and what they're doing, what pieces are, you know, locked in and just aren't going to do anything. So like, for instance, I know that this piece here, this bottom piece, is definitely not going to go anywhere right now because it can't go this way because this whole bar here prevents it. It can't go this way because these pieces can't move, and it can't go up or down because it can't go up because this piece is there and these pieces are also locked in fairly well as well. So I know it's not going to be that. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, which is the piece that's going to come out next, and then what am I going to do in order to get it there? And my friend said, usually it's the one that's out the most already will come out the next. So this one right here is fairly loose, as you can see. So I'm thinking it might be this one. It also might be this one. I don't think it's either of these ones, because in order for this to come out, these have to be moved, and these are solid, and so are these three right here. So far, I mean, I might make some movements and then things start to move, but as you can see, it's quite complex. This puzzle, just burr puzzles in general, these, you know, higher order ones are very complex when you start getting into it, and they're extremely challenging. So I've been screwing around with this and fiddling around with it for a couple of hours, trying all sorts of different combinations, and I just can't seem to get anywhere. So anyways, I'll come back again with it, either another update or completely disassembled. All right, everybody, so you can see that I've completely disassembled this. Now, there's only 5 of each color because I've taken out one piece of each color because I don't know if the designer of this would want me to show the actual mechanism, the complete mechanism. Without these 3 pieces, you obviously can't reproduce this puzzle. I mean, they can be so random, right? So I'm going to show you some of these pieces. The first thing I want to show you is the signature. It's not really a signature, but it's just like a thing. So this is the stamp, I would think the stamp of the person who made this, not the designer, but the actual person who built it. So it's really nice. Usually from what I've seen on the internet, builders will actually sign it, and I can't wait to get one of those. But yeah, there's a lot of variety of pieces here, but there's also some pieces that are very congruent with each other. Now, we have simple pieces like this, which is just extremely simple. There's not really anything to it, all the way up to complex pieces like this, where there's quite a lot of notches in there. So, you know, you see a lot of variety, and I can't help but to wonder, how does a person come up with this kind of thing? I mean, do they just make random pieces and then, you know, make a whole bunch and then try to fit them together? I mean, how long would that take? The amount of time that must go into making these puzzles, mentally and physically building them, must be huge. Now, there is a program out there called Burr Tools, and Burr Tools is a 3D program where you can actually create these things in 3D space and try to fit them together. So I know that a lot of people use that, but before that program was around, I can't imagine how people did it. And that program is actually very complex, and I'm starting to learn it. So anyways, there's a lot of pieces in here that are congruent with each other. So for instance, let's take a look at this piece here. Okay, so this piece is exactly the same as this piece, right? And it's also exactly the same as this piece and these 2 pieces. So we've got 5 pieces here that are exactly the same. Now, this isn't a very high level burr, and high level means that it's, you know, it takes a lot of, like if it's a level 51, it means it takes 51 moves to get the very first piece out. Now, there is a burr puzzle out there I've seen where it's like 13 moves to get the first piece out, but then it's 140 to get the second piece out. So, and it's only called a level 13. I think it should be called higher because it's 140 for the second, which is extremely high. But I've got more complex ones like this, and I'm pretty sure that when I take them apart and I look at the pieces, that I won't have any congruent, or at least not 5 congruent pieces. I think that the more congruent pieces you have, the easier the puzzle it would be. That's just what I think. I don't know for a fact. Anyways, I obviously am not going to be able to put this thing back together by memory. There's no way. I mean, at the end, it just kind of fell apart into like 8 pieces. So there's no way, honestly, that I can do it by myself. I'm probably going to have to use the Burr Tools program in order to do it. So I'm going to put this thing back together. I'm going to attempt without the program, and then I will use the program and then come back together, put it back together, and then tell you my final result on it. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, so as you can see, I've got this thing back together, and I did end up using the Burr Tools file. I actually contacted the designer of this puzzle to get the file, and he said basically without the file it's impossible. But I did talk to one guy who said that he pretty much solves all of his stuff, puts it back into its original form without the Burr Tools file. And what the Burr Tools file is, it's basically, it looks like this in 3D space, and you just grab the scroll thing and move along, and it'll show you exactly what moves you have to do in order to take it apart or put it back together. So I did that, and it actually took a while because I had to prop things up and everything. So I'm glad it's back in its shape, and I can't wait to wait a little bit and then try to solve it again. I think this is a great puzzle. I really enjoyed it. So thanks, Alphonse, for designing this thing and for giving me the Burr Tools file. And so I've got some more on the way. For this puzzle, I would say that it is a little bit intermediate. It's not super beginners, but it's still beginners, especially for an 18-piece burr. So I do recommend this. If you would like to buy this puzzle, I'll leave a link in the description to Arteludes, and you can go ahead and purchase that if you want. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on my next video.